The areas covered in this video are displayed in this slide in the bulleted text, and we do hope you enjoy this video. At the applications WordPad and Microsoft Word, just in a basic form, just to show you how you can open them and use them in particular when you're using the test. So we're not going to be delving into the ins and outs of it, but how to open it, how to save a file, how to navigate it around as well. So first one I'm going to show you is Microsoft WordPad. So Microsoft WordPad is a application that actually is free when you purchase or you install Microsoft Windows onto any of your computers. So to open up WordPad, you would click search and you can go WordPad just there. You should also maybe find it in your start. If you go to your icon, so your shortcuts, you should be able to find it here. I think I've taken mine off, but you will highly likely find it available to you if you have a scout around. It should be there too. So I'm going to click WordPad, and it's pretty much a basic word processing application, but just to show you a few things, you've got the ribbon just up here, we've got the file which gives us our file save and save as and print, we've got our cursor just here, got a ruler, we've got our ribbon of options in home, which is quite basic, we're going to be showing in a second, and we also have our zoom just down here, as well as the status bar. So we just start typing away. So I just want to make you aware that if you see in your test some of the key things of WordPad, just to be pointed out, that you've got your file home, you've got your tabs, your ribbons as well, and an insertion pointer in particular may come up. But what will highly likely, and it is also in your diagnostics, show up is using the word processing application Word. So Microsoft Word is one of the modules you're going to be doing after Computer Essentials, but it does come up in this module, but it doesn't come up in terms of full details. It comes up in how to use it. So Microsoft Word is pretty much WordPad, but much more detailed. There are far more options, and it's much more professional in its ability to manipulate and change documents. So I'm going to just not save this. I'm going to close these two windows just down here, and so we're going to open up Microsoft Word. Now type in Word, you'll see you've got WordPad and Microsoft Word. So if you left click Microsoft Word, and you'll first of all see it'll give you the option to create a specific document. We're just going to use blank document. So in your test it may ask you where you would go to open up a blank document. You would just click blank. And here we are. This is the Microsoft Word application. Has its ribbon. It has loads of sets of features which I'm not going to go into because it's not relevant for this module. But what we are going to be doing though is going to the File tab just here. So we go to File, and you'll see we've now got the option to open. So we could open the document. So if I go to Browse, it's always important in your test to go to Browse. Please ignore the shortcuts, the last ones just here, because we want to show the test you're doing it correctly. So we're going to click Browse, and then we're going to go to Desktop. I'm going to go to example zip files. I'm going to open. Make sure you select it and you press the open button. It's always important that whatever's selected is open, and in your test it may ask you where you would go to open it, but you also have to do the steps correctly. So press open, and there we go. This is just normal text that I've just put in here just for the example, just what we're going to do. What we can also do, is we want to save it as a brand new document, is we can close that down. I'm going to open up Word again. And then Word. I'm going to do a blank document. I'm going to just type in some basic text. This is my first document. You'll see you've got the title just up here. Keep in mind that when you create a blank document, it's always called document 1, or if you've got several open, document 2, 3, 4. We're going to save this to desktop, so I'm going to go File, Save As, Browse. I'm going to save it into my desktop. I'm going to change the name just here. In your test, however, and this also applies to open, what we just demonstrated before, it is very important in your test to be aware that you'll have a virtual server location that's wanting you to do. A lot of people I've seen in my past experience are doing the correct steps to save a document, open a document, but they're not saving it in the correct location. So you may, in your test, you will find that you'll have a folder that's called the Z drive just underneath here. You won't have it in this demonstration. It's only when you do your test and your diagnostic that you'll see. So make sure that you do save it in the Z drive. It's really important, because if you do all the steps and don't save it in the Z drive, you will lose marks. So really important to remember in the Z drive. So I'm just going to do it in the desktop, and I'm going to make sure I'm naming it. So the first document we're going to call, and I'm going to save it, and you'll see the name changes just up there as well. Another really important point to be aware of in Word is if your test asks you to close a document. A lot of people, and particularly myself when I first experienced it, if we see the words in your test or in a diagnostic test, close the document, open in Microsoft Word, a lot of people will think clicking the red X at the top will close the document. It doesn't close the document. It doesn't close the document, it closes the application. The correct place to close a document is File, Close. The application still stays active, but your document has been closed. So just keep in mind in your test, if it asks you to close a document, it's always File, and then you've got your Close option just there. If you asked you to close the application, you could by all means press your red X, and then you're available to do that too. So typing text, you may be asking your test to insert a specific text that's been asked for you to do. Make sure your spelling's correctly. I'm just going to put hello there. This is M2 Computer Essentials. You'll notice I was going quite quick there. In your test, just take your time, because you don't want to lose marks by getting spelling incorrect. What I'm going to show you now is how to copy and paste text from one document to another, because that may come up in your test, and it's really important to get that aware. What we've got is we've just got one document that's open. If I was to just go down here, you'll see we've got the first document. In your test, it will be highly likely that there will be two documents open. So I'm just going to go to open up another one. So if you see down here, I've opened up the Word example document. If I hover my mouse over, we've got two that are open. The first document and the Word example. You may be asking your test or in a diagnostic question to copy, which is duplicate, the text, hello there is Computer Essentials, to the Word example document and place it at the bottom. So the first thing we need to know is we need to select the text correctly. So we're going to get to the beginning, hold your left mouse button down, get to the end, make sure you don't select anything that's not asking to in the test, and you can do copy just up here, or we can right click, copy, we can go to our other document, and then right at the bottom, just click here, and then I can paste using the ribbon, or I can paste just there. You can also use the shortcuts that I explained earlier in the video about copy and pasting using your key shortcuts like Control X, Control C and Control V. So you've got that there. Let's try it vice versa. So instead of copying, I'm going to cut, which means move. I'm going to take this DFSD text, which is spelled incorrectly, but it is for this example. I'm going to select it. I'm going to right click. I'm going to cut, which means move. And you'll see it's been taken off the page. And I'm going to go to here, and I'm just going to paste it just over there too.